So, for example, with some of my clients, they're like older, successful women, strong, independent women, and they're struggling to attract the kind of man that they want. They often find that the kind of men they attract, they would call weak men, right?
Yeah,
and what they actually mean is they're attracting men who are just more in their feminine. Because at least in the dating world, she's presenting a more masculine frame.
Yes, that's probably where I'd want to move this to without it being too exposing. But
Go on.
the way that I am as a person is I feel like I can easily emasculate a guy. And I find that's happened to, I'm not just saying that randomly out thin air, but
Yeah.
I've been with guys before, and just the way that I am is like, I'm someone that gets things done, like even with my job, like where I sit in my role and in the business and in the company.
Yeah.
And not just that, like, okay, I'll have a job, but then I'll be on to, like, the next one. Like, I'm quite progressive.
Yeah.
And so that can be quite intimidating for people that I've been around. So with my 2 ex-partners, where I see that they're like that, I almost like put them before me, and I will like, I've done stupid stuff before, like, you don't have a license or a car, but you can drive my car, I'll give you a license in my car, because I don't want to emasculate you. I want to get you to the point where you're doing those jobs and I'm not. Like,
I think encouragement is really good though. I think that's a really good thing.
Yeah, but then
if you're encouraging.
What I found is that they were sort of, it was like me pushing them up and then them going on me.
Them relying on,
like kind of pushing me down, and I was like, you know, you have to, like, it's like getting a man to put his feet on your shoulders and you pick them up, and like the whole physical aspect of what that would look like to anyone, no matter what. That is what's happening. Like, so that's why I just say, as a simple thing, like, if you don't have a license, it gives me an ick. But that's just me summarizing something that I'm trying to communicate, which is basically like, I've been through an experience with someone where I've been with someone for 5 years and it's happened, been with someone for a whole year and a half and it's happened. And it's just like, something like them not having a car, it really changed the dynamics between us, because it was something like they couldn't be the man and they were emasculated on a daily basis because they couldn't serve me that way, or they couldn't serve us in that way. I was earning maybe more than them, they couldn't serve me in that way. Like, in terms of food and cooking, like, they can do that, but that's, you know, that's not their job to do. And then am I supposed to do that alongside everything that I'm doing? And it's just like, and they know that. So it's just like, I'm doing the woman stuff and you're doing the man stuff. And it's like a matter of fact, whether we try and dissolve that idea, we try and, like, he tries to come in and do more, like, whatever happens, it just is like us trying to fight this battle of this not happening, but it's happening. And it's breaking us both. And it's like really destroyed me and the other person. But like, we both love each other. And that didn't really matter in the end, because it was just like, I'm not okay and you're not okay. And it's like, I'm saying it's okay. But they're like, it's not. I'm not good enough for you. It's heartbreaking. And then they do really toxic things because they're just trying to escape and trying to make me escape.
Yeah.
So that's where I come from with it. And I'm just like, as an initial instinct, if I see that, I'm just not going to get involved, because I know what that looks like. Not just for me, I'm protecting me and them.
Yeah, hear that.
Whereas they won't get it.
I want to ask you something on everything you just said, and I completely understand what you're saying. Is it fair to say that you would want, now because we've had that experience, that you would want a guy who is on your level or above in certain aspects of your life?
I don't know what I want.
No? Is it fair to say that you were leading in those relationships? And did you want to do that, or did you not? You wanted him to? Okay.
I mean, the way that I am as a person, even what I do for work, in my family, like friends, every situation, I am always someone who has human intelligence, who always leads the pack, and who always makes sure that things get done and that everyone's heard and involved and comfortable.
Yes.
And I just take my initiative, and I always am that person, always. So it's like, I need someone who is like a male version of that also that can make me feel like I'm not a man all the time.
I understand.
Everywhere I go, because I can't help but be that way.
So here's the thing. You said you can't help but be that way. In order for someone to lead, you have to be able to follow. So if you can't help be that way in a relationship, even if you date a guy who is that way, if you're that way too, you're just going to end up going separate ways. So you have to allow the space and for him to lead if that's the kind of man that you want. Now, it might be fair that you've allowed the space before and maybe the guys that you've chosen just didn't do that. But if you say you can't help being that way, then it's like, even if you come across a man who is the kind of man that you want, it's not going to be coherent because you're going to clash or you're going to just end up going your separate ways. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I'm even like filtering through my head, like examples and scenarios that happened where like being in a relationship with someone, I'm there like, I want to do this and I want to do this and I want to do that. And I'm just going to pause and be like, I'm just going to wait for them to do that. And I might just like say it like, I like doing this. I want to go here. And then they don't pick it up and you're just like, oh, I don't want that. What's that? Give it. No, I'm done. Like, and it's silly stuff like that I'm like, I'll just be like next or I don't know.
So what is it? Is it like, for example, when a guy can't, are you saying like when you want to do something, he doesn't make a plan to do it or what?
I just need a man to come and like, this is what, okay, if you want my list, I feel like...
Give us my list. That's what we're here for.
I don't know about giving a whole list, but there's going to be some parts of my list.
Give us the list.
Which would be things like, I want them to have initiative to do things and plan things and organize things. That's very much like what makes sense to me in my head and how I run things in my day to day. I want someone who like isn't stagnant in any way at all, like fitness, whether that is work-wise, family-wise. Like, I don't want them just to be okay with the same old, okay, I'm just gonna see my mum on Sundays and it's just gonna carry on like that. I want them to think like, you know, me and my family would really enjoy like going on holiday. I'm gonna make sure that happens this year. You know, that's the sort of person I am. Someone who like is very in touch with their feminine side as well.
Yeah,
but when I say these things, I don't mean them to be specific.
Yeah.
I want them to be broad and open, like when I heard things that you were saying. So there's, I guess, those as a few.
Pow.